On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was in splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys. And Horton the elephant heard a small noise. Then humming her nose was a sour kangaroo, a type who was convinced she knew better than you. She made every law and forced every rule as the self-proclaimed head of the jungle of Newell. So while the kangaroo stood there sneering a sneer, once again the speck flew right by Horn's ear, and he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny people were calling for help. And you knew what he thought? What he thought there might be somebody on the top of that small speck of dust, or even a family. Just might be so, a family with children just starting to grow. Now, some people out there, I think I know who, might find that they agree with that sour kangaroo. There really can be people as small as a mite. Well, there can, and there is, because Horton was right. That single hello traveled all the way down to the speck, to the flower, to the fountain of a small town. The town known as Whoville for those who live. The Who's really happy and safe, knowing only good news, unaware that their world was on a speck on a clover, unaware the sweet life they knew might be old. The mayor of Whoville, a man named McDonald, who's devoted and fair and a little bit odd. The mayor and his wife, they had children to spare. 96 daughters, some here, some there. 96 girls to love. 96 girls to teach. But the mayor had only a few seconds for each. In Whoville's tradition, unlike yours or mine, the mayor's oldest is the next mayor of line. And who's the oldest lead? And standing tall, it was Jojo, his son, the smallest who of all. Now, to you or me, it's finally clear that Jojo did not want his father's career, but the mayor pressed forward, completely eluded, and Jojo just sat there in silence and lorded. And why didn't he speak? Well, I think the lad was frightened if he did, he might let down his dad. While Horton can clean about the speck that he found, how he saved this, what a really drowned. The mayor set off on his morning commute, and noticed things not quite the same on his route. But please don't blame Horton, for he didn't know that that swamp pup a bub was a big blub food. Now the mayor knew it was his job to convey the unusual things that he noticed that day. There was one problem. Though his will was strong, nothing in Whoville has ever gone wrong. What all this mean? The mayor hadn't the clue. So he went to the office of Dr. LaRue, brainiest brain on the staff at Who You, and it, when Horton saw at the top of Mount Newell, a small cave that looked peaceful and quiet and cool, where a sunflower grew proud and tall from the ground. There he knew every Who would be safe, would be sound. So then Horton began his long, perilous trek, determined to save the small world on the speck. Horton was fearful and soul working kind. He was a brave hero, at least in his mind. Then Jojo snuck out feeling lonely and sad and tragically misunderstood by his dad. And where was he going at such late hour nights? up to the Whoville abandoned star-study tower, a place where the boy feel contained, free, a place he could be what he wanted to be. And what was inside, I'd say if I could. But up above, the kangaroo was up to no good. But clover by clover by clover he found. But the one he was sodding for was just not around. And by noon, poor Horn was more dead than alive. Has picked, searched, and filled up 9,005. All day he looked on, till his hopes was almost gone. But wait, could this be the one? Was all this searching finally done? Ah, yes, for this was the hour. Horton has found from the 3,000,000 flowers. The bear grabbed the tom-tom, starting to smack it. And all over Whoville, they open all racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on bass pans, on garbage full absinthe cans, berry cans. They blew on bass buzzles, basic big tubas, on drumming, soon poozas, boom poozas, ploosas, and flutes. And that yelp, that one small extra yelp pulled it over. And all the whose noise burst out of the clover. And so all ended well for both Horton and the Who's, and for all in the jungle, even the kangaroos. So let that be a lesson to one and to all, a person is a person, no matter how small.